What's up, y'all? This is Ty. I am here to review season 1, episode 2 of Raising Kanan. And tonight's episode is titled Reaping and Sowing. Now, if this is your first time here, listen, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, because you're going to like what I got to say. We have fun over here. And I got to give a shout out to my people down in the comment section. R.C. Colger, Savannah Rivers Amore, June Bill, C. Quentin Baptiste, and Lamont Simpson. Thank you. And come on, leave your comments down below. So like I said, this is Power Book 3. This is the second episode of the first season. And this is called Reaping and Sowing, this episode. And it's picking back up right where we left off, as we saw. For those of you who don't know, if this is your first time watching, this is a spin-off of the original series Power, and a character from Power named Kanan, which was played by 50 Cent, who is now narrating here, is this is his coming of age story. So it's like a prequel to that series. But so far, so good. I'm hooked. I'm enjoying the show. So now, as we left off last week, Buck 20 is dead. Kanan and his crew took Buck 20 down, but there's consequences for this. So now the target is on his head, and he gotta lay low, but he don't understand that. He ain't understand. You know, teenagers, y'all know how teenagers are. He's not understanding that. So his mother, Raquel, is telling him, listen, dude, you gotta lay low. You have killed someone, and his consequences, there's an arrow on your back. They want you. And she's very worried, because now the episode starts with him returning to school, and she sees a car come by, and she's afraid. She thought that it was somebody trying to shoot him. He picks up the bullet shell from the street, and realize this is serious. There's a target on your back. Like I said, you better lay low. It's true, gotta lay low. But she gets nervous. She sees somebody, in the car. They're throwing out the phone books. Remember the phone books when they used to deliver? I'm like, wow, a phone book. The phone directories, the yellow pages. And so she comes out. She's like, you know what? I'm taking you to school. When he gets to school, we see that the girl Davina is getting in a knockdown, drag out fight over Buck 20, who was killed. And, Buck 20, the popular dude, the drug dealer from school, he got more than one girl. So Davina's his main girl, and the side chick is fighting her. And her and Davina, they're tussling. Davina gave her a mean right hook. Ooh, it was like, wow, look at that. So Davina gets in trouble. She has to go off to the principal's office. And this is Kanan's time to console her. And I'm like, Kanan always had a cold heart. You're responsible for his death, but now you're consoling his girl. Have the nerve to give your condolences when you had everything to do with it, which was just completely crazy. Completely crazy. But in this scene, as he's shooting his shot, in comes Davina's mother, and we see that she's all disheveled and crackish looking. And we learned a little bit about, because she's like, I'm struggling with 2 daughters. So we learn, okay, Davina has another sister. And I'm struggling with 2 daughters. I can't deal with this. And the principal tells her, come in here. You and Davina get in here. And Kanan, you go to class. So then they go to the next scene where Davina's leaving with her mom. And Kanan and his crew making a comment about, oh, yeah, champ, And we just see Kanan staring, and then D-Wiz, Kanan's homeboy, is like, yeah, I might have to shoot my shot now. And Jukebox reminded him, yo, she just lost her boyfriend, and you already trying to shoot your shot? He was like, listen, she's single, right? Crazy. They're heartless. We also see in this episode, what was his name? We see Unique speaking with Raquel, and he tells her, listen, I cannot control. They meet up at the cemetery. He's like, listen, I had to circle this place a couple of times, make sure you ain't trying to set me up. She said, listen, you ain't gonna see me coming, basically. So she said to him, but he explains to her, listen, I stop my people, but there are still going to be people who want revenge for what y'all did, and they want a body for a body, because Buck 20 ain't here, so y'all gonna have to give us something. Something, we need a body. So it's like, wow. So it's like, we need a body. I can't control. They're going to come after your son. They're definitely going to come after your son. So she has to figure out. She gets with her brothers, Lulu and what's his name? She gets with her brothers, Lulu and Marvin. And Marvin is hilarious. And they're trying to come up with a plan. And Marvin's like, oh, yeah, I'm throwing a party. She's like, all this stuff we got going on, you want to throw a party. Meanwhile, her and Lulu are thinking about some other business arrangements. They need to go in business with somebody else at a new location, because everything got to be on the low and undercover and everything. So that was that. And we're going to learn more with that situation too, at the store that they did do business with. You see that the store owner's wife had a black eye. We're going to get some more. They're going to go more into that, I believe, because they showed that. And you could see that guy doesn't really have respect for women, because he kept looking at Lulu when they were making that business deal. And Lulu was like, listen, she's in charge. Talking about Raquel, you need to go to her. So that's that. Marvin's planning his party. They decide to give Kanan a job. And the job is basically boring to him, because he's just sitting down watching, and he realizes he's being babysat. And again, you gotta lay low. This is about laying low. So when he finds that out, he confronts his mother, who's explaining to him, listen, there's a target on your head, and I know you want to be out on the block, but I need you here right now. I need you in there to learn. And she says, listen, that's what your father did to me when I was pregnant with you. I started here. I had to lay low, learn patience. He said it's a strategy. So she's teaching him, there's rules to this, Kanan. There's rules to this, and you just got to trust your mother. But he wants to be out on the block. But no, you can't do that. You can't just go right out up on the block right now, because it's hot. It's hot. So she said, listen, this is what I'm going to do for you. She tells him, we got this nice, when I'm going out tonight, and what you can do is you can have somebody come over, and you know what, it could be D-Wiz, and y'all can watch New Jack City. I just got it for you, and you can have a good time, and that's that. And so while she's saying that, what was interesting was, as she's saying it and she leaves, we see D-Wiz on his way over, and Lulu stops and picks him up, and he's like, oh, I'm just going over here to Kanan to watch a movie. He said, oh no, Kanan's going to the party, come with me, you gonna have a good time tonight, come with me. And I'm like, what's going on here? So I didn't know. I was like, what's going on? I didn't know what was going on at first. I'm like, what? Wait, why he telling him that Kanan going to the party? Kanan is at home. Meanwhile, Kanan's looking for him, waiting. And who does he see as he's waiting for D-Wiz to come by? He sees Davina pushing a stroller, and that's supposedly her little sister. But I'm wondering, I wonder if that's her baby. I don't know. I'm wondering, could that be her baby? You know how I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching, but I'm like, I wonder if that's really her baby. We're going to learn that out later, that she's a teen mom. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, they have a conversation again, and I'm still like, yo, this dude is heartless. You are responsible for Buck 20 being dead, and now you pushing up on this girl and you giving her condolences and tell her don't believe the things that she's hearing and stuff like that. That was completely crazy. Also, we see a lot of comic relief from Marvin, the other uncle, and we see him trying to throw this party and get the party together, and he comes in there and he confronts Symphony, and he's trying to test Symphony, basically trying to threaten him. And Symphony was like, when he told Symphony, yo, you messing with my little sister, I'll F you up. Symphony was like, you will not. No, you will not. Like, I don't know about that. And he's like, I'm just messing with you. I thought that scene was funny. Even his scenes with, I believe her name is Tony, the club owner. He's telling her he needs to throw a party in there tonight or the next night for his friends and all that. All of that was comical. Him putting that party together was comical to me. We also see Jukebox and her relationship with the white girl who's from the Upper East Side. and we see the class differences. They care for each other, but Jukebox is very sensitive to things like when they were in the store and the girl said, well, I can buy it. And Jukebox was like, what, you think I can't afford it? I'm some poor black girl from the South Side. And they're learning each other. So I like that they're showing her situation and what she's going through with that relationship. And we see that Jukebox is a hustler because she was out there, boosting and selling her stuff. And I was like, oh, the memories it brings back. The people selling polo jackets and this and that. Is it bootleg? Is it not? All of that interesting stuff. Now back to this here party. Lulu shows up with D-Wiz, takes him into the club, says, this is a night this is a night to remember. And I'm like, what is he doing? So then he gets him this girl, beautiful woman. The beautiful woman takes him in a booth somewhere, and D-Wiz have sex with her. And I'm like, what's going on with this? Meanwhile, Detective, what's his name? Detective Malcolm, Malcolm Howard, I think, played by Omar Epps. He visits Unique, and he tells Unique, listen, there can't be any more bodies, especially these young people. And he said, listen, it can't be two kings. You want to be the only one king? Then you need to see to it that there's no more bodies, and you make sure that you're the one existing. And he kind of took a shot. They kind of threw Raquel under the bus. So it made me say, what does this detective have against Raquel? Because he's like, listen, you got to make sure you're the only one standing and the only king, and I can help you with that. But we got to, no more kids, no more young kids dying, none of that. You got to see to it that doesn't happen. And I was like, yeah, this is interesting. We need to see. There's more with this detective and his relationship. I want to know what's his issue with Raquel. That was interesting. Now, back at the club, like I said, D-Wiz is having the time of his life. Beautiful woman. Done sexed him up. Possibly lost his virginity to her. Who knows? Now, as they're leaving the club, Marvin gets into a fight with some guys on the line outside of the club. And so D-Wiz is like, yo, they're jumping Marvin. Let's do something. And what's name was like, no, Marvin got that. Don't worry about that. Let's go. And that's why I was like, oh, I see what's going on here. My slow self. I finally caught on. I said, now I see what's going on. He takes D-Wiz in the alley. D-Wiz is all excited. And that was a tough scene. That was a rough scene right there. He's all excited. And Lulu looked like he didn't really want to do it, but he has to do it because they need a body for a body. He kills D-Wiz. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then now I get it. It's like, listen, because remember, Buck 20 is dead. Y'all got to bring us something. They're going. So this was all a part of Raquel's plan to protect her son. She sacrificed someone else's son. Oh man, I was like, wow, this show is crazy. This show was crazy. I felt bad because I'm like, the dude was all excited. He just got him some. He's like, yeah, you got to give me that girl's number. He turned around and Lulu took him out. Now he's going to glory. He done going on to glory. But it was a good episode. I'm really liking this show. I'm invested. Like I said, I think I said this last week. At first I was like, what are they going to do? We already know what happens to these characters, but we know what happened to Kanan and Jukebox in the original Power. So I'm like, why are we going back? But I'm glad they've gone back. This is so far so good. I'm really enjoying it. That's all I have for now. Tell me your thoughts. What did you like about this episode? Did you like this episode? What are you looking forward to? Do you think I'm right in thinking, could that be Davina's baby and not her sister? Who knows? Clearly her mother has issues though. She's clearly a crackhead. So, stuff like that. But yeah, that's all I have for now. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video.